Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are talking all about how to pick beta readers. So if you have not been on my channel for the past week or so, I've been doing a shit ton of videos all about the beta reader process. So today is part 4, like I said, talking about all about how to pick your beta readers. So if you have missed the first 3 episodes where I go over the beta reader basics, how to know when your book is ready for betas and where to find betas, and plus how to make your beta reader form, I will have the playlist linked down below. Please do go and check it out. It's amazing and I'm not biased at all. But today I want to talk all about how to pick your betas because sometimes that's really easy and sometimes it's not. Number 1, think about their reading taste. So on my beta read form, I make sure to ask my betas what kind of books they like to read and if they like to read in the genre and target audience that I'm writing for. Now I don't put a fuck ton of stock into the type of stuff that they love to read and the kind of movies and TV shows that they like to watch, but if they are polar opposites to what I'm writing, sometimes I'm like, that might be a problem. For example, let's say that your beta reader lists a shit ton of horror movies and those are all of their favorite movies, but you're writing romance and they have not listed one romance book or movie at all. That might be a problem. But let's say that your beta reader does say that they regularly read romance on your form. Then I wouldn't worry too much about that because maybe they do read a lot of romance, but they just couldn't think of favorites at the top of their head. Also, it's important to note that just because you don't like a certain movie, TV show, or book, that doesn't mean that your beta can't like it. There were plenty of my betas who listed some of their favorite books, and I kind of just went, why? But I still enlisted them because, you don't believe it or not everyone is going to agree with your opinions on books, and that's completely fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but it's still worth noting that their reading taste, because that can help you decide if a beta is the right fit for you or not. And then the second thing that you want to think about is the demographics of your betas. Now, before I say anything, let me make this 2000% clear that you should enlist diverse beta readers and you should not deny someone's application solely because of their sex, gender, sexuality, race, or whatever else, because that is discriminatory and honestly that would be really shitty of you. Now, with that being said, let's say that your MC is a lesbian and you yourself are not a lesbian, and let's say you are trying to pick between 3 betas and they basically have all of the same qualifications, but one of them is a lesbian and thus far you haven't enlisted any lesbian beta readers. Then, in my opinion, it could be a perfectly good call to enlist the lesbian beta reader, especially since your MC is a lesbian, because then your beta reader will probably point out to you if you write anything offensive, but beta readers do not replace a sensitivity reader. So if you are writing about groups that don't personally belong to a sensitivity reader, can be a great choice. But honestly, in general, you just want to make sure that you are enlisting diverse beta readers, because diverse betas mean diverse people with diverse experiences, thoughts, and opinions. And number 3, I briefly mentioned in the forum video, which is their social media presence. And this is not in reference to a beta's follower count, because that doesn't matter at all when you're picking your beta readers. But for example, let's say that on Twitter, your beta reader liked 20 different tweets that are all racist. Yeah, maybe don't enlist them as a... And honestly, this is one of the main reasons that I ask for someone's social media accounts, because I just think it's really important to make sure that as far as you can tell, your beta isn't, well, a bigot. And number 4, sensitive content. So a lot of books will feature some sensitive subjects. I actually didn't mention this in my form video, and I probably should have, because in the past I did give betas the option that if they were not comfortable with reading a certain portion of sensitive contents, that I could just not send them that chunk, but I couldn't really do that with this round of betas, which I will go into detail about in a later video. But basically, I already have all of my PDFs for all of the chapters in a Discord group for my betas, so for me, it wasn't really practical to do this, so instead, I just let my beta readers know that if they are not comfortable with a contents of my book, I'm so sorry, but they just shouldn't be a beta reader for me then. Basically how I did it. But if you do decide to do it the other way and just be like, hey, if you're not comfortable with reading about XYZ, that is totally fine. Just let me know and I won't send you that portion. But sometimes betas won't be comfortable with stuff that you can't really take out. For example, I had a beta who didn't like the amount of violence that was in my book, but I couldn't accept them because it's not like I can just take out all of the fight scenes. That wouldn't make sense. So sometimes you can eliminate betas just because they're not comfortable with some sort of sensitive content that's in your book. But I will say though that I do wish that I would have added a question on my form, just making sure that my betas were comfortable with the sensitive contents of my work. I feel like that's like self-explanatory, but well, common sense and common. And lastly, number 5 is to remember that you can always save betas for later. So on my laptop, I have a spreadsheet with beta readers that I couldn't accept for this round, but I would like to enlist them for future rounds. And this is a really helpful thing to do because based on how many extra betas that you have, you might not have to recruit any more for your future rounds, which obviously would be awesome because let's be real, trying to find betas can be really, really hard sometimes. And that is all that I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope it was helpful for you. And as usual, if you have any more questions about the beta reader process or if you have any requests for future videos in this series, please comment them down below and I will try my best to include them or to answer your question. And yeah, that's all that I've got. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button down below and turn on those post notifications so that you know every time that I upload. And stay tuned because my next beta reader video will be coming out fairly soon, and it is going to be all about how long the beta process should take and how many cycles that you should have. So stay on the lookout. That is coming your way soonish. And yeah, that is all that I've got for you. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video.